Today I will tell you all a story about an unwanted bearded dragon and how I transformed his small dull home into his dream apartment. One day I was scrolling Facebook Marketplace and I stumbled upon a listing titled Reptile Enclosure. I scrolled through the photos and staring right at me was a baby bearded dragon. I felt terrible for him, seeing how inadequate his living conditions were, and I knew I had to have him. I messaged the seller and asked for more information. They confirmed that the lizard came included, and we agreed to meet in the afternoon. It was only 11 a.m., so in the meantime I went to my friend's house to check out why their pond was leaking. They had a beautiful garden and a pond full of water hyacinth. When I began removing the flagstone to access the filter, I thought, this would make a great basking spot. So she let me take some, which I would later use in the enclosure. Just as I was about to leave, I got a message from the seller. So I scurried over to my car and was on my way.
A few moments later.
So this is the enclosure that the bearded dragon came in. It looks to be about 29 gallons, and I do believe it was one of the starter kits because it came with the thermometer and the hydrometer. But yeah, it looks like they're feeding him some cabbage or something. It looks like he has some hides, a log hide, a little rock hide. Did come with a silly rock. Looks to be happy. He's not missing any toes. He doesn't have any stuck shed. He looks about a healthy weight, and yeah.
Hello, motherfucker.
Alright, so here for the bearded dragon, I have lined up a cricket, a mealworm, and a dubia roach to see if he will go for them. So far, he looks very interested. He was already trying to get out of his enclosure. I'm going to be dusting these with Rapashi Calcium Plus, and you can see him going crazy right now. And the way I do this is I just put them inside of a little container. And first I think I'm going to go with the mealworm. In goes the mealworm. In goes the mealworm, and I already have some calcium in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the lid back on. Spin it around a bit. Go ahead and just grab it like that. And offer it. Oh, there we go. Just like that. After confirming that he indeed had an appetite for insects, I proceeded to offer him the cricket and then the dubia roach, which he took instantly. Alright, let's see if he is 4 for 4 and if he will take vegetables. There you go. Judging by his current enclosure, I knew he required an upgrade as soon as possible, so I went to the Home Depot and searched for a suitable substrate mix. This consisted of organic soil, peat moss, and natural play sand. I'll be using 2 buckets to separate the substrate mix from the background mix. For the background, I just used play sand and soil, and for the substrate, I just added peat moss to the mix. After mixing and adding some more soil, I got my preferred mix, which should look like this. I'm going to be using this ReptiZoo front opening enclosure. It has sliding doors on it, and I believe it's about 55 gallons. So it measures 47 by 13 by 17. This is enough space for a baby to a juvenile, but when they're adults they require a 120 gallon enclosure. I'm going to start by spraying the background. I added the wet mix onto the bag so that it stuck, and I repeated this for the entire panel. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do it to the left and the right side just to give it more of an enclosed feel. I'm not gonna cover the whole thing, maybe just half of it, but I'm gonna curve it to make it a little more natural. So it should look like that. After that, I went ahead and made the substrate mix, which consisted of water, peat moss, sand, and soil. Alright, now I'm just gonna go ahead and add the substrate. I made a basking area and some hides with a flagstone to make the bearded dragon feel safe. I also gave him a branch to climb on because these lizards are semi-arboreal, which means that they spend some of their time in the trees. They are often found on fence posts and basking on fallen trees in the wild. Although a lot of the things in the bearded dragon starter kits are useless, I'm going to be using the thermometer and the hydrometer that came with it. I had a couple food and water dishes lying around, so I used those instead of the dishes that came with the starter kit. They look a lot more natural and stone-like as opposed to the cheap plastic ones. The dragon was very curious, and he was excited to enter his new home, but I wasn't done yet. I filled his bowl up with water and added a few plants for him to snack on and add more life into the enclosure, along with the sliding glass doors for easy access. I added the most important thing for a healthy lizard, which were the UVB and heat. A dimming heat lamp allows you to choose the right temperature and ensures that you won't wake up to the smell of a fried lizard. I watered the plants and added some springtails to help with breaking down organic material to return the nutrients back into the soil. These guys are hexapods and are related to the roly-polies you see in your backyard. They play an important role in ecosystems and are basically recycling bins. Finally, the enclosure was done. It was time to move the little guy into his new home. He was trying to get away but didn't know his dream apartment awaited him. Now he has more than twice the size with proper heating and enrichment opportunities. Let's see if he'll accept this new place as his home. And just like that, he has become king of this new territory. On day 2, he was eating the pothos and he found his way up the branch, which he seems to enjoy. More food was ready to be eaten and there was no escaping this vicious predator. Yummy. After breakfast, he went to bask on his rock and soaked up the UVA and UVB rays. He also left me a little stinky surprise on his branch. On the 3rd day, he gained enough trust to eat out of my hand, or maybe he was just really hungry. And that is the story of how I rescued a bearded dragon from Facebook. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to see more videos.